Hi all, great day too here at Codemotion Milan 2017, our 5th anniversary big edition. And we can be more happy than have you here with us, Jessica Rose, keynoting at this amazing event at Codemotion Milan. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me. The opportunity to come back to Codemotion Milan was really, really exciting. Thank you again.
During your keynote this morning, you talk about, we can say, environment, working culture, coding culture, a very large and inspirational talk, really, really interesting for all your incredible audience. And how much do you think is important to build a very welcoming environment, to build a better world, a better working environment, and definitely to code a better code?
Thank you. I think that's a really interesting question. So whether or not you need a welcoming environment, whether or not you need happy people to do good work, I think it's entirely possible to get good code out of miserable people, but you can only do that for a very limited amount of time. So investing the time in having a good working environment, really respecting the people in your space, and giving them space to have a good work-life balance means you've got the same people who are going to stay with you longer and be less miserable while they do great things.
A good environment and a healthy environment is made basically by the good leaders. You talk, for example, about the work and life balance. But I think, and you said, of course, there should be a general involvement of individuals. Can you explain better this concept? Because I think it's very, very interesting.
I think that within technology, we've got different levels at which we can affect change. So as individuals, we have the responsibility to set our own boundaries and talk about what is and isn't appropriate for us in the workplace, that I'm not going to work 12-hour days for the rest of my life. And by setting those boundaries, we not just make things better for us immediately in our workplace, but have the opportunity to set expectations for our peers and for our companies. I think that for companies to move change, and that for communities too, it's really about a bunch of individuals moving together.
Talking about community, your background lies in the open source, of course, in the widest meaning, of course. Now you're working in a company that is not exactly an open source company, but what did you bring? What did you bring from your experience in the open source environment in your company, in your today life?
So I've gotten to be really lucky. I'm working with FutureLearn, and while we're not releasing any open source projects, we do use and contribute back. And we're really focused on open online learning, so making it possible for anyone to learn anywhere. And we've got a lot of people on our teams who are really invested in open source. For me personally, coming to this company that had a big priority on transparency, a lot of focus on sharing and working together, collaboration, good communication. It felt very much like, working in an open source project, but not quite open source this time.
This is not your first Codemotion, but this is a very special one. So what's the feeling that you got this morning? What's the hype around? How do you see Codemotion with your eyes today?
Oh, that's fantastic. It's not the first Codemotion I've spoken at, and I was absolutely so excited to come back. I hope it's not me just overlaying too many compliments, but it's so well produced. The feeling was fantastic. It was just a really great audience this morning of folks who showed up very early, were very excited, and were just delightful to speak to.
Thank you very much. Thank you indeed for everything, for having been here, for your incredible talk this morning, and definitely to support us in all Codemotion around Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.